Welcome back to the techno-communism conversation. You can see from the title we're going to continue talking about the prospect of building technologically mediated collectivist form, namely using readily available open source LLM agents, which are increasingly, perhaps even by the end of the year, going to become highly autonomous, insightful as to their own actions and ability to plan, generally described as artificial general intelligence. And we can use these as kind of sidekicks in our lives, but also in the struggle to build a humane and sustainable economic system. And in doing so, we can build a network of digital doppelgangers or AGI agents that will be able to accomplish great things for humanity if we are willing to come together and make use of these resources appropriately, not in the way that technophiles of the West generally suggest these things should be used. These things are generally being used for imperialist ends or frivolous consumer ends. And in doing so, this technology is dropping the noose of techno-fascism, a techno-feudalist system around all of our necks to a very high degree, so much so that you could say that tech, Silicon Valley, and tech may as well be short for techno-fascism. And before I continue with the going on with explaining the title of this talk, I want to thank Lon Diffendorfer for one thing, for friending me on Facebook and giving me the opportunity to get to know you, fine comrade. But also thank you for making a study of these writings, and I look forward very much to hearing your thoughts on this subject. And I thank all of you who I've tagged in this video for allowing me to do so. As a revolution-minded individual describing the use of technology in a way that it would be counter to the goals of the fascist U.S. and imperial West, I have been perpetually shadow banned and outright banned from social media. My reach has been diminished in recent years to the point of absurdity. So my desire in tagging people is to counteract that negative effect on what I think is an important message. And now to the Comrade's Guide to AI. The imperial fascist and capitalist machines that we accept as the institutions of our world do little more, comrades, than churn out profits for the ruling elites. And the potential of advanced technology like advanced computing and so-called artificial superintelligence suggested in this title falls by the wayside. It is one of the, I think, great travesties of our time. So we, workers of the world, must seize these means of artificially intelligent production. And this guide explores the problematic term, Gen AI or generative AI, from a different perspective, not as a corporate tool, but as an instrument for building a fully realized socialist future, and ultimately the techno-communist outcome described in the title of this video series. And that must necessarily be a future powered by this collective mind, this AI human hybrid collaboration, that mind of the people, yourselves, working people, the proletariat. We cannot achieve this before the 5 years when we reach runaway overheating that will lead to the death of mammalian life and presumably all or most of human beings. That is signified by the permanent breach of 2 degrees of overheating caused by um, uh, human behavior, most notably the consumption of fossil fuels and livestock system products, animal products. All of these should effectively be banned, limited to the degree that they would not cause massive supply chain collapses, and banned. They, of course, are not, because the fascist West is controlled by predatory megacorporations, and among those, of course, are fossil fuel concerns, which have captured the government to such a degree that even though the people of the world and even the people of the highly fascistic United States want to see this planet saved, so to speak, um, they have no recourse to see that happen because of this uh, near complete fascist capture of corporate capture of institutions, pushing the United States into fully realized fascist entity. Many people push back at this idea of referring to the United States as a fascist entity. I'd like to urge you not to push back at this. For one thing, a good definition of um, fascism is capitalism plus violence. And there's no more violent capitalist entity than the United States, having killed 40 million people in hot wars in living memory alone. Just in East Asia and Southeast Asia, about a third of those murders occurred against communists, people who were only trying to build